Okay, let's just get into it. You're probably feeling it too, right? That hesitation,
Mm.
especially with big things like real estate.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole landscape just feels, well, a bit uncertain.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the economic shifts, all the political chatter. It kind of adds up.
It really does. And it's completely understandable why, so many people have basically put their property plans on hold.
Totally understandable. But what's interesting now, and maybe a little encouraging,
Hmm.
we're starting to see maybe the early signs that this feeling is shifting, that big pause we saw.
Hmm.
It might just be starting to lift.
Okay, that is interesting. We're kind of observing that too, actually.
Right. And here's where it gets particularly relevant for right now. We're noticing some renewed momentum building specifically for the next 90 days right here in the local market.
Uh-huh.
We've actually had several clients, people who definitely hit pause earlier, now getting back in touch, ready to, re-engage with their plans.
And that renewed engagement, that's a really key signal, isn't it?
I think so.
It suggests maybe a growing sense that, okay, maybe now is the time to at least reevaluate those plans.
Exactly. And look, that's really why we wanted to do this deep dive today. It's not about pushing anyone to rush into something, not at all.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's more about getting some clear perspective.
Right. Perspective on what's actually happening locally, especially if you've been feeling kind of stuck or unsure, trying to figure this out alone right now.
Oof. Yeah. It can feel like trying to read a map in thick fog.
Totally.
And, in a market like this one, having access to someone who has real-time, genuinely local insights, well, that becomes incredibly valuable.
Couldn't agree more. And honestly, that's exactly where someone like Michael Graf of the Graf Group VIP, that's where he really shines.
Hmm.
He's not just, looking at the national headlines like everyone else. He's properly embedded in our local market, seeing the trends as they actually happen here.
Right. So whether you're thinking about buying or maybe selling or even just kind of exploring the options,
Yeah, just curious.
Michael offers that crucial clarity
Yeah.
about what's really going on, on the ground right now.
And what I find fascinating about his approach is how he translates those observations.
Oh, so.
Well, he makes it practical. He helps you understand not just what could happen based on some broad forecasts, but what's realistically achievable right here in our specific area.
That practical application is key. For instance, we're seeing maybe a subtle uptick in buyer inquiries for certain property types,
Yeah.
but only in very specific neighborhoods. Those are the details Michael tracked.
Exactly. He gives you that informed perspective so you can move forward with genuine confidence, not just guesswork or hoping for the best.
Confidence is huge in these decisions.
It really is. And the thing is, you don't have to try and figure all this out alone. When you feel the timing is right, if you decide to explore things further,
Yeah.
Michael's there, ready to give that personalized support, answer your specific questions. He understands the nuances of this specific market so incredibly well.
And that local nuance is vital. The complexity of things right now really demands it. National news can even be, frankly, a bit misleading if you apply it too broadly here.
So true. So, okay, what does this all boil down to for you listening?
Yeah, the takeaway.
Well, think of it this way. Michael Graf provides a way to sort of cut through that fog we mentioned, to cut through the wider uncertainty and really focus on what's happening right here.
Hmm. He helps you realistically look at your options.
Yeah, assess things properly, understand the potential opportunities, but also the challenges, specifically in our local market, particularly over these next, say, 90 days.
And ultimately, having that localized real-time understanding, that's what really empowers you. It lets you make genuinely informed decisions that actually line up with your own goals.
Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely. So, okay, final thought here. Considering this potential renewed momentum we're seeing locally, what's the one question, the single most important question about your own real estate goals? What would you want to ask Michael Graf today to get a clearer, more realistic picture of what might be possible for you right now? Something to think about.